Hello, welcome to Burning Waters of the Moon Tarot. My name is Desiree, and this is a reading for the water signs for the new moon. So, right now we are coming out of a dark moon. It's about to be a new moon. And as soon as we start seeing that crescent in the sky, that's how we know that it's a new moon. Some people will like to say the new moon is when it's dark, but I feel that's another phase that the moon is going through. It's taking that rest period. It's absorbing. She's fresh and clean, and she's completely absorbing the energy of the constellation that she's in at that present moment during her dark moon phase. Once she starts to come out of the dark moon phase, she's moving in. She's starting to gather the sun energy from the constellation as well. Okay, because the sun is also in that constellation. So while she's dark moon, she's just getting the constellation energy. But as she starts to make the crescent, now she's being influenced by the sun a little bit. And so that's why I differentiate between the two. And also the dark moon gives us the time to take a break, to kind of gather ourselves, to prepare for the next cycle that we're about to embark on. And so I like to use this energy just to kind of take a chill pill, to think about what it is I want to focus on and start making my game plan, right? Okay, so I want to show you, I'm going to share my screen. So this is stellarium-web.org. And it's a cool little website, which, by the way, also has an app that you can put on your phone, but it will show you where everything is in the sky at any given point. So this is as if we would be looking straight up, maybe if we're laying down, right? Laying down, looking straight into the sky, and we get to see all of this cool stuff. Look, we even got some satellites right here. Oh, there's another satellite. Here's Mars. Here's Arcturus. There's a Vega star. We can also add in some constellations. Look at that. Wow. So now we can see Hercules. We can see Ursa Minor. Here's Pegasus over here. And then here is our ecliptic, because we've got Aquarius here. We've got Capricorn, Sagittarius over here, and Libra, Virgo. So, and then over here would be Pisces, right? And so let's get ourselves reoriented back to the ground. And another cool thing is we can, oh, you know what else? Let's change it to our time. So it's 5:37 where I'm at. So that's going to be 17. 17. And we'll go to 37. And I'll hit pause. All right, 17:40. We're going to hit pause. And so this is what it looks like outside right now. This is my house. This is how I live. It'd be really nice if I did. I love it. But this is just giving us a perspective from Earth. Okay. And if I take off the landscape, then I see nothing but stars. So it's like I am floating in space at this point in time. I'm looking nothing but the stars. It was behind me, below me, wherever. And another thing I do is take out the atmosphere. So you know it's in daylight right now. Take out the atmosphere. Voila. I see the entire universe, right? Isn't this cool? Okay. Now what we need to do is find the sun. So here's Venus. So right now, the tropical astrologists are saying that the sun is in Virgo, and also the moon's in Virgo, because we had a new moon in Virgo. Okay, but let me get over here, swing us around. All right, so, oh, shouldn't have done that. Oh, now I'm in trouble. There we go. All right, I got it. Yes. Okay, so here's our ecliptic. We've got Scorpio, Libra, Virgo, Leo, Cancer, Gemini. This is our ecliptic all the way around. Okay, I see Virgo here. I'm going to use something else that's going to help. I'll say smart. I'll be better, right? So here's Virgo. Here's our sun, and here's our moon. They are in Leo, in this constellation right here. Matter of fact, the sun is right over the, what is that? The star in Leo's heart. It's called, it's not Arcturus. Regulus, okay? Let's see if we can get Regulus to show. We might not be able to. Maybe zoom in. So if you scroll on your mouse, there you go. If you scroll on your mouse, the little scroll wheel, you can zoom in and scroll the other way, and you can zoom out. So here is Regulus. The sun is right over Leo's heart, star Regulus. Okay? And you see the moon has already started to move away from the sun. I don't know if this could possibly be some crescent. But like I said, if you want to be able to know whether the moon is crescent or if it's still a dark moon, just wait till nighttime, go outside and look. If there's a tone of a crescent, then it is a new moon. Right now, we're going to say it's a dark moon. All right. So with our moon and our sun in the constellation of Leo, I'm going to be reading this as a new moon in Leo. Okay. Another thing I want to show you guys is something that you have access to, but I can show you how you can get. I'll link a video and I'll show you how you can get access. Okay. Now. Okay, I had to change this chart a bit. I ran this chart for 2, and I did earth readings around 2, and now I'm doing water readings. Okay, so this is what astrologers use to read people's charts, right? This is a chart for today, and this is where all of the planets are on, a 2D surface, and we can see what house they're in. We can see what constellation they're in, and we can see what aspects they're making to one another. Now, what I'm going to link a video that's going to show you how to use today's chart and compare it to your natal chart so that you can see if there's any aspects for today that are being made to your natal placements. And that's important because sometimes your sun can be aspecting, I don't know, Venus or Mercury or even Chiron, and that aspect has a certain energy for you and creates a certain circumstance. And sometimes it can be a little bit challenging to deal with, or sometimes it can be an opportunity for you to take advantage of something. Okay. The energies above can affect how we're feeling down here. They are huge astronomical bodies. I mean, just think that the moon has an effect on the tides here on Earth. So any other planet will also have an effect on us as well. So it's all about vibrations and energy, okay? All right, I'm sipping on some tea over here. Okay, so the aspects that I want to point out for today. So right here in Leo, this is our Leo glyph. Our sun and our moon are pretty much conjunct. We have this, this is called an aspectarian over here in the corner, and it shows all of our luminaries, and it shows how they are aspecting. So we see the moon is aspecting the sun over here. One thing I want to point out is the sun aspecting Chiron in a trine. And a trine is something that's harmonious, something that we can take advantage of. And the sun making this trine to Chiron is these two are working in tandem together. So what I am reading this as, this is the time to look, to see what our wounds are, to understand what our wounds are, any kind of trauma, something that might be holding us back, and allow the sun, first of all, to shine some light on that, right? Allow this energy to come forward And because the sun is in Leo and the moon is in Leo, we're having a new moon in Leo. I really feel that this is a great time to get our emotions and an understanding about our wounds over here in Chiron, okay? And Chiron represents wounds, Chiron represents trauma, and it's things that we need to heal about ourselves. And what I really like is that with the sun and the moon being in Leo, is that we can address these issues of trauma. Maybe somebody, wronged us in some sort of way, right? We can address this in a presentable, civilized manner, right? Leo is sort of that actor, the thespian. He likes to be in the spotlight, okay? And this is a great time for us to, when we're in the spotlight, we want to put our best foot forward, right? We want our clothes ironed, we want our hair brushed, we want our teeth clean, shiny and bright, no pepper in the crevices, you know what I mean? So we want to put our best foot forward. And this new moon is going to give us an opportunity to understand, number one, what those wounds are. And then the sun is going to help us shine a light on that and help us give direction on how we can move forward. Now, another thing I would like to point out is that we have the Black Moon Lilith here in an opposition to Uranus. And then we also have asteroid Lilith in opposition to the sun. Now, oppositions are challenging aspects, and they're challenging because these two do not want to work together. They're butting heads, they're fighting, they're wrestling, if you will. They just don't like it. But I think this energy that we're working with is something that needs to be brought to the table. And I feel like Uranus is challenging this Black Moon Lilith, and he's challenging her in a way to. So Black Moon Lilith is that untamed, that wild stallion feminine energy. And Black Moon Lilith is that strong, intuitive, powerful energy that is representing your untamed self, like your authentic voice, the person that you were or who you really are before society started to smooth out the wrinkles, right? Or the parts of yourself that society has deemed as shameful and needing to be suppressed. And I feel that Uranus is making this aspect to Black Moon Lilith because he was wanting to challenge her in that it's time for you to take a look at this and do you really want to be shamed? Do you really want to be hidden? Uh-oh, what happened? Okay, hold on. Let's go back to my chart. I wasn't looking at my screens and I must have hit a button. Okay, let me see. Let's go back. Okay. There we go. Okay, Black Moon Lilith. Opposed Uranus, and Uranus is having her take a look at herself, take a look at this energy, okay? Technically, it's the feminine energy, but I want to say, which I've been saying in all of my videos, humans are emotional, expressive beings, whether you're male or you're a female. And I feel that the energy around Black Moon Lilith is not just the feminine energy. It is the energy in general about being suppressed, right? And patriarchy, or whatever we want to call it, men have been suppressed in thinking or being taught that they cannot express themselves. They cannot have feelings or emotions because that's a woman thing, right? And women are, yes, we're expressive and yes, we're emotional, but humans are expressive and emotional. And if you don't express yourself and emote, then it becomes a problem. It becomes an issue. It turns into trauma. It turns into resentment. And I think it's time for us to get past that as a society. Every human has the right to have feelings, and have emotion. And it's time for us to pass that. And I really feel like that is what this opposition is here. It's really to challenge that thought that just because you're a male, you can't be emotional. Or just because you're a female, you're too emotional. And it's time to get past that. It really is. And that's what I think is happening here. The other aspect is this asteroid Lilith in direct opposite to the sun. Now, asteroid Lilith is pretty much so let me back up a little bit and talk about the story of Lilith. So asteroid Lilith is an actual asteroid, right? Black moon Lilith is like an empty part of space, which is the furthest point away from the moon. And the story of Lilith is that she was Adam's first wife, and he basically wanted her to like bow down to him, and he is man and she is second in command and needed to do what he said. And obviously this didn't bode well for her, and so she rebelled, right? So that's the meaning of Lilith, and like I said, the black moon is it represents the farthest point, the moon's farthest point away from Earth. Okay, that black moon Lilith, goes, that the moon goes. So it's the furthest point away. It's the furthest moon point away from Earth, if that makes sense. Okay. I feel like I'm rambling here. Okay. I just want to give you all the information so you have some context, right? So black moon represents that wildness. Asteroid represents femininity. It represents personal power, sexuality, and just being independent in your relationships. Okay. And it's not just focused on women, but it's that in general. Men need to have that as well, right? You've got to have that personal power as a man. You want to be comfortable in your sexuality. You want to be comfortable in a relationship, and you want to be a separate person in your relationship, right? You don't want to be exactly like that other person, codependent, attached by the hip. So I feel like these energies can relate to both male and female. Okay. And so back to this chart over here. Where's my mouse? Okay. Asteroid Lilith is opposing sun. And so the sun the sun represents the true authentic self. And so I feel what's happening here is the sun is opposing black moon Lilith because the sun wants to shine a light on this, and to really show whether or not you're being your true authentic self. Are you being that person who you truly are, or are you dialing it down? Are you giving us the PG-13 version? Well, we do kind of need a PG-13, but what I'm trying to say is, are you your authentic self, or are you putting on a mask? And I feel like that is what this sun opposing asteroid Lilith is. It's shining a light on that. And what I do really like is that Sun is now trining Chiron. Our Chiron here represents our traumas, represents things that that have been repressed, and things that we need to heal about ourselves. And when we have a trine, that is a harmonious aspect. These items in red, squares and oppositions, those are a little bit more challenging. But when we have these sextiles, which is this asterisk looking thing over here, and then this triangle, these trines and sextiles, they're a little bit, they're more harmonious, and these are energies that can work together. So I feel the sun is working with Chiron to help us not only see and know our traumas, but also to shine a light on them and to start working with them. And because the sun is in Leo, it wants to put our best foot forward. It wants to make a presentable trauma exposure, if you will. So now I would say this month I would say is the perfect time to start working on those aspects of ourselves, those things that we have hidden from ourselves, those things that we are not really my cat wants to get on my lap. Those things that we've been hiding from all these years, or maybe ignoring or not wanting to address. And it could be a good time to talk to someone who perhaps wronged you, or someone who maybe, made you feel a certain way, or you know what I mean? It's time. This would be a great month to address something. And let me get back to my other screen here. And a way that we can do that is by working with the dark moon, okay? Working with this new moon energy. So dark moon is, like I said, that time to get your game plan together, to kind of rest and to formulate that plan. And then once the moon starts to crescent, it's time to start taking actions, okay? And those measurable actions, we have, you can take as long as you want really to do this. But if you want to work with the moon energy, it gives you not only goalposts, but it also gives you milestones, right? You can say, okay, by the time we are to, the half moon, I should have done this, this, and this. And it can give you that confidence, right? It can give you that, just that little boost of energy that you need. Oh, okay, so it's almost time for that quarter moon. And a moon is a quarter moon when it's half, by the way, because technically only a quarter is lit up, but it only looks like half to us because we see half of the moon. We don't see the backside of the moon, but it's really only a quarter that's lit up. So it can give you good goalposts. It can give you something to work towards, and then something to kind of push you. And then once you get to the full moon, if you can go outside and work with the full moon energy, that is glorious. It is just absolutely fabulous to work with that type of energy. So, okay, let's go ahead and start working on the readings. I've got to go to dinner with my stepmom today. It's her birthday. All right, so for this series, oh, you know what? I'm going to pause really quick because I use these for earth energy, and I'm going to get some new decks for the water energy. Okay, so I chose the Mystic Mondays Tarot. Every time I see that title, I always think of just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday. Yes, because that's my Sunday. Oh my gosh. I saw Cyndi Lauper in concert with another one of my favorite artists. Well, yeah, I guess Cyndi Lauper is one of my favorite kids. Girls just want to have fun. Anyway, so, and then the Lepus Tarot I have here. The Lepus Tarot is another cool deck. Mystic Mondays is part of this hashtag that I'm taking part of, which I'm way behind in. And it's Use My Decks hashtag. Me and Elizabeth from the More Intuitive Me have been, we've swapped decks. And so I have 5 of her decks and she has 5 of mine. And we are, yeah, We are using each other's decks. And I think this has to be my favorite of the 5. Okay, so this is Mystic Monday. And then this is the Lepus Tarot. And this is the Dreamgate Oracle by Danielle Noel. And let's see. I think I want to do Lepus Tarot with the 3 main energies. So this is going to be my regular spread. 3 cards at the top, 6 cards in the middle, 3 cards at the bottom, except the 3 cards at the top are going to represent the sign, the water sign, okay? And the 3 cards in the middle are going, the 2 cards, the 6 cards is going to be our signet, no, what's it called? Our clarifying energies to understand some more of what the top card is trying to tell us, okay? And then the bottom cards, the bottom 3 cards, is going to be the oracle. And I will show you something once I get these cards all pulled out, because all of these cards do have a place in everybody's reading, because it's all water signs. And I feel like this whole reading is like a circle. It's cyclical. It's a circle. Okay. All right. So the first sign I'm going to read for is Leo, Scorpio. All right, Scorpio, you've got the Ace of Swords in reverse. And then the next sign is going to be Pisces. Pisces, you have the Page of Wands in reverse. And then we have Cancer. Cancer, you have the 3, is that 3? 3 of Pentacles in reverse. What is that? Yep, that's 3. Wow, all reversals. What's going on, water? Oh, okay. Tropically, I'm a Scorpio sun, and tropically, my daughter is a Pisces sun, and tropically, my other daughter is a Cancer sun. Oh, and then, oh, I've got cat hair all over my shirt. And constellational astrology wise, I'm a Libra. I'm a Virgo sun. And Ava is an Aquarius sun. And then Vanessa is, she's still a Cancer sun. And that figures. But she's kind of on the cusp of Cancer Leo. And that works very well for her because she's in theater and she's very emotional, very dramatic. I mean, God forbid someone bump into her, because then she like flails to the ground. But she's that, she's an actress. She really is. And Ava's amazing. Oh my gosh, she's intuitive, first of all. Second of all, she's very inventive, and she really thinks outside the box. I mean, don't tell her no, because that... All right, let's see what's going on with you, Scorpio. All right, 6 of Swords, more energy. 9 of Wands, fire energy. 6 of Swords is more energy. I meant to say more air energy. 9 of Wands, we've got some fire energy. For you, Pisces, we've got the Devil. And we've got the 4 of Swords. And for you, Cancer, we've got Judgment. And we've got 8 of Pentacles. Okay. So, and then now with the Dreamgate Oracle by Danielle Noel. I don't know where this deck came from. It just popped up somewhere. Oh, these decks look nice together. Let me get that glare off of that card. Okay. Might be a little dark. I like my videos darker. Is that weird or what? You know, when I was doing photography, I like darker photos as well. So, I don't know. I'm very comfortable in the darkness. Unless I freak myself out. So, okay. All right, let's see what we have for you, Scorpio. Soothing Waters, Pisces. We've got Quest and Akashic Flow for you, Cancer. All right, so this is what I mean by it's all cyclical. It's a circle. So this is like a round reading, okay? Eight of Pentacles touches the Six of Swords, all right? And these two are obviously touching, but then these two touch because it's a circle. Same with these. They touch with the circle. You guys are all water energy, so you might kind of be going through the same thing, except there's different aspects about these water energies. However, it's still water. It's still emotional. And it's still a flowing energy, right? Take a drink of water here. Okay, so for you, Scorpio, the Ace of Swords. We've got, so the Ace of Swords in reverse. So there might be something that's kind of tickling your mind, kind of wanting you to, like something's just kind of unsettled. You feel that perhaps I don't know how I can say this other than something in the back of your mind has you wanting to take action, or you have this idea that's kind of in its very much it's in infancy. You want to have this idea, you want to do something, but you just don't know where to start. And we have the Six of Swords energy, and that's also, that's the card of moving on to calmer waters. It's the RWS picture of a woman with a younger, smaller person, child maybe, in a boat, shrouded, and they're being ferried by somebody else, going to calmer waters. And so it's, the card of looking for something different, moving on. So, but then we've got the Nine of Wands here, which is it's that card of, you're still in the defense and you're getting a little bit tired here. You're kind of wanting to put this energy away, put this energy to bed. And your oracle card is Soothing Waters, which is intention, clearing blockages, and energetic hygiene. So what the feeling that I'm getting here is, if you use the energy that I was talking about in the astrological reading, I feel it's going to clear some things up for you, because I feel like there's probably some kind of blockage, something that you've been fighting that you're not quite sure what it is. You feel there's some unresolved tension going on within you. Okay. And I think what's being called here is, because of these oppositions and these energies that are kind of shaking things up, kind of wanting us to challenge things. It's time for you to look at what makes you tick. Look at what is something that perhaps has been bothering you. Did you get in an argument with someone? Did somebody say something to you? Is it something that you've experienced as a child, maybe some trauma as a child? Whatever it is, I think it's a good time to take a moment, take some time in this black moon, this dark moon, and to start jotting things down and understand what it is that might be holding you back. Okay, because there's some sort of mental energy that's not clear for you, and it's definitely keeping you from moving forward. You have the Devil right next to you, which is that card of, it can be a trauma card, but it can also be this self-imposed kind of bondage situation where we do things like this to ourselves. We keep ourselves in these prisons, and it can be a card of addiction as well, because that's what happens when we don't want to face something. And And so I feel like this might not necessarily be self-imposed, but it could be an energy of where it's it's holding you down, and it's up to you to allow yourself to float out of it. Okay. And if only you can get out of this heavy, very earthbound energy that's keeping you anchored in this space. If you can somehow set that energy free, or set those thoughts free, I think that's going to be of benefit to you. And using these energies that we just talked about, this Black Moon Lilith energy, this asteroid energy, asteroid Lilith, and this wonderful trine of Chiron, of the sun to Chiron, exposing, expressing, and releasing some of these pent up feelings, I think is going to give you some of this mental clarity that you need, so that you can move forward. You can move forward authentically. Okay. All right, Scorpio, that's what I have for you. Let me know how that resonated with you. And we're going to move on to Pisces right here. All right, Pisces. So for you, we have the Page of Wands in reverse, and then we have the Devil, Four of Swords, and your oracle card is Quest, with the keywords goals, deep shift, carrying out change, and inner journey. So I actually like this card for you, especially with this Devil here. So with our Page of Wands, pages are kind of some novice energy, somebody who's new to the block, right? But they do have a natural curiosity, and they're willing to put in the time and the work and the effort to do what it is that they need to do, so that they can become this king energy, right? That's the goal. And so this page is a page of earth and fire. However, with him presenting in reverse, I feel that there might be some sort of blockage in getting yourself going. Okay. And what I feel here is the Devil is there's some sort of trauma that's holding you back, that's making you feel like you are not confident enough in your novice abilities. You're not confident enough in your abilities to learn, and you're not confident enough to move forward for some reason, Pisces. We do have the Four of Swords, which is the card of rest, and I feel like this is more of it's offering a way of a way out of this. And the way out of this, I would say, is working with the moon energy, working with the dark moon energy, and understanding what it is that's kind of holding you back, that's holding you from moving forward, from getting that initial spark to push you forward. Now, you have goals, and this last keyword is inner journey. Okay. And anytime the Devil is involved, there is some inner work that needs to be done, because that is an energy that like I said to Scorpio, that's an energy that is binding us, that's keeping us down in this I don't want to say, well, it's keeping you in the lower realm, okay, as opposed to being like a helium balloon, and and floating up, right? You're carrying some very heavy energies right now, and those energies need to be released. And the same advice that I gave Pisces and everyone else is, it has to do with some traumas. It has to do with understanding your traumas and being able to release yourself from these bondages. These were ideas that were put in our heads when we were younger, and we just kind of ran with them. So the idea here is to confront those head on, and to give our inner child the love that they didn't get, or our inner self, that self that was wounded, give them that love and allow them to move on from it so that you can move forward and you can start living your best self, living your true authentic self. Okay. So that's what I have for you, Pisces. You're amazing. You can do this. Just like I said, work with this moon energy and get this moving. Okay, get a groove going. If you just take one step and swing that back foot around and put it in front of that foot, and then all of a sudden you're walking. Okay, just one step at a time. Don't look too far ahead because that can be daunting. Just tackle one issue at a time. And it's exactly what I said in the intro. Okay, so now we're here for Cancer. So Cancer, you've got the Three of Pentacles in reverse. You have Judgment, and you also have Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so with this Three of Pentacles in reverse, so this is Earth energy, and this is like the card of collaboration. But I don't really see too much collaboration in this card. See, this is called the Lepus Tarot, and the Lepus is actually a constellation, and it's a hare, okay? And this hare is looking up longingly at these three items up here, and not items, pentacles. And the feeling that I'm getting from this particular card, the energy I'm getting from this particular card, is an energy of feeling left out, of not being part of the group. And I think what's happening here is you're not feeling like you're part of the group because you haven't been giving enough to the group. You haven't been inputting enough. Your contribution to the group isn't what it should be. And Judgment, the Judgment card calls us to look at things from a bird's eye view and to see if the moves that we're making, the things that we're doing, if that is in line with our goals. Okay. Your Oracle card is Akashic Flow, and that's tapping in ancient library and awakening. And oddly enough, the Judgment card is sometimes called Awakening, and that's the RWS card where the angel is blowing his trumpet and all these people are rising from their graves and, beginning anew, right? That's the Great Awakening. And so what I feel here is it's time for you to look at yourself. And like I said, are you, like I've told these other two signs, are you being your true authentic self? Why are you not putting in the same amount of work as the group? What's holding you back? Are you maybe keeping some of this devil energy inside and, working or ruminating on thoughts that somebody has told you in the past that maybe you're not good enough, not smart enough, not fast enough, maybe that you don't have any good ideas, right? But an idea is an idea. And if you're participating in a group, the whole idea of being in a group is to collaborate with one another. And even if your idea doesn't get used, even just speaking up and using your words, expressing your idea can give someone another idea, and that idea can be expanded upon. And so while your idea wasn't used outright, it still helps someone to create something, right? And so that type of energy and that type of input shouldn't be discounted. It's part of the group energy. It's part of what makes groups work. It's the synergistics of people, of energies coming together and working with one another to create. So so let's step out of that energy, guys. And I think that concludes my reading, by the way. I think the main point that I'm trying to drive here is for us to look inside ourselves, look what's holding us back, look at things that may be triggering us or people that may be triggering us, and let's confront those things, whether it's within ourselves or whether it's external. Okay. It's never a good idea to let emotions and feelings fester. It's a good idea to express them, either on paper or express them to someone else, because otherwise it builds resentment and it can just fester. Okay, like I said, we are humans, we are emotional beings, and we are expressive beings, and it is time for us to step outside of what we've been taught for a millennia, that we can't express ourselves, that women are too expressive and that men shouldn't have feelings. We are expressive beings, and it's time for us to express that. All right, guys, thank you so much for being with me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Share the video if you know anyone who can benefit. Let's see what else. I do offer readings, both astrological and tarot. It's all donation based, and you can do that at the Buy Me a Coffee link in the description. So with that, I wish you guys a happy moon cycle, and I will see you in about 28 days with your next reading. Take care.